Hey guys, Mighty Gazelle here. It is nearly 2 a.m. on a Friday. You know what that means. Best time of the week, new My Hero Academia chapter is out. Again, unofficial, need to stress that. These chapters, the lasting impact is not these chapters to me, it is the official ones. But because I'm so impatient, I read these unofficial ones, and they're usually really close. At least they get the point across. This is chapter 324. Last we left off, we had, one quick second. Let me adjust the light. It's a little bit bright. 1 second. I'm still here. Ow. Professional, I know. There we go. Much better. Last we left off, Uraka was giving a passionate speech atop of UA with the megaphone, pleading to all the idiot civilians down there who didn't want to let Deku into UA, which is like so stupid. I hate mob mentality. But it was a great chapter for Uraka, and I saw a lot of backlash for Uraka this last week of people just calling her like anyone could have done what she did, or like this isn't a big moment. And I just think to myself like, what do you guys want? Is the only thing that classifies as a big moment when a punch is thrown? Like, what a boring way to think about it. If that's how you want entertainment, this is not the series for you. There's so much more to it than that. Anyway, I'm not going to go on a rant about that, but I thought it was a great chapter for Uraka. And I'm sure this one will be too, because her speech isn't done yet. It didn't end. It was mid-speech. We also got a lot of information about the UA barrier, which I thought there's a lot to digest there. Does it make Nezu more suspicious? Does it not? I don't know. I'm not going to really dive into that right now. I just want to dive into this chapter because I'm excited to see what happens next. So, let's begin. We start off with, memories of the past. We see a young Uraka with her parents. I loved seeing people's happy faces. Chapter 324, A Child's Innocence. Insistence. Okay, so it's called a child's insistence. Anyway, again, these are the unofficials. They usually get the point across very well. I read the officials when they come out. Okay, so that was the past, and now we're at the present, and we're seeing... So in the first panel, Uraka's parents are like kind of happy. They're around Uraka, and like now it's kind of the present, and it's showing them kind of in fear in the middle of this mob, looking up at Uraka as she's giving this speech. My parents always had an exhausted look on their faces, and I hated that. I think this must be Uraka talking to herself, or thinking to herself, obviously. When I witnessed heroes in action, as we get this overview shot of a bunch of civilians, let's see if I recognize anyone. No one really stands out here. And it's just all these people looking up at her as she's giving the speech. My gaze often wandered to the people watching them instead. And we get Deku looking up at her too. Dude, this shot's really cool. I can't believe I almost just glanced over this. So all the people are looking up at Uraka, and there's a shot of her alone on the top of rooftop. It's just like black. It's like the backdrop is rain and the wall. And it's just this little bright spot, Uraka shining down to this mob of people. Great shot. That's such a great shot. And then the next panel, we get Deku looking up at her. Like the people are just kind of looking up. He's all beaten up. How frail, all the people are saying to himself as they look at him. Yeah, you're using your eyes. Like, just calm down for a second and you'll see what she's saying is nothing but facts. Anyway, Deku looking up at her. He was fighting, says the fox girl. I'm just going to call her Fox Girl. Don't know what sort of animal she's supposed to be. It kind of looks like a fox to me. Even after he had saved me, he just kept fighting, she said. All the people still kind of looking on. We get a shot of that guy in the All Might shirt again, who is being a little loser. Looks like he's going to continue being a loser. The hell are you talking about, he says. Don't tell me that you want us to be covered in mud and grime as well, he shouts. I said this last week, and I saw other people also said this on Twitter, which is funny that they also thought this. Take off that damn All Might shirt. Do you even know what he stood for? You're acting like such a little dweeb right now. Oh, this guy pisses me off. Again, he's shouting up, and we get a shot of Uraka, who's like red in the face. You can see like she's just shouting into this mic. The only ones who will shoulder any burdens will be us heroes. Yeah, shuts him up. He stops yelling. Thank God. I hate this guy. We'll pay you all back with our blood and sweat, so please just give us time. As we get a shot down on Deku next to Bakugo and some of the other students. And then, we get a really... Oh, the students look so adorable here. We get Kaminari, Kirishima, Mina, and Froppy all next to each other. Just looking... I love them. I love UA so much. Ochako-chan, says Froppy. Midoriya-kun, says Ida, who's standing next to him. Uraka-san is fighting too. As Deku looks like Deku's about to cry right now. To make sure that you and everyone else, and looks like Uraka, either she's like wiping tears away herself, or I don't know, maybe it's just rain she's wiping off her face. She's wiping away something. I love seeing people's happy faces. It continues with her inner monologue. Can smile. To make sure that all of you and everyone else can smile. That's Ida's saying, but in the middle of that, you have Uraka's continued inner monologue. Okay, Deku actually starting to cry now. Uraka-san, he shouts. As of right now, continues Uraka, with regards to your safety, we're sorry that we cannot guarantee it. We're just as frightened as you, as we get Genist and Mike looking on. He frantically went around saving people while just barely hanging in there. I want people to see and understand what he's doing for them. She thinks to herself, this is her thinking to herself. And then back to her shouting. Everyone here is under the same circumstances. Back to her thinking. When a hero is in pain, as we get Deku again just starting to cry, and you have Bakugo and Ida next to him not showing any emotion at all. Like I think they just on the same page as her. I think that's what's going on here. Again, Genist and like Mike looking up at her, and oh my God, is this Aizawa? Can Aizawa hear this from his room? Is he there? Oh, that's kind of adorable. Because if everyone remembers, he's noticed her growth and stuff too. Like it's been really cute. Oh, that's so adorable. He's just listening to this in his room. I think that must be Aizawa. Who else has hair like that? Anyway, next shot we get is Hawks and Endeavor and Todoroki again listening to all this. Close-up shot to Endeavor. When heroes are in pain, she thinks to herself. And then we're back to the flashback again. Ochako, where are you looking? The heroes are over there. She's looking at the people. Go get him, eel boy, shouts one of the people. And they're cheering him on. And then she looks back at the hero. And he says, yeah, because he hears the people cheering. We have to save the heroes. As she's just like a little Uraka, like so giddy and happy and pumped up. And now cut to the current Uraka. That's why I'm asking for your full cooperation, she says. So that tomorrow we can all smile together. She continues out. Oh, we got a shot of Toga here. Interesting. I'm not sure. I'll dive into that later. That's interesting that she's thinking of Toga right now. With everyone's help, please give him time to rest and recuperate. Is that too much to ask? She shouts down at all the crowd. And then we get Inko just like bursting with tears. And that's going to be your future daughter-in-law. You'd be proud of this moment. Midoriya Izuku is trying to carry the burden of his power on his own, as Deku's just starting to really let the waterworks out now. He's got a lot more to learn, but he's just an ordinary high schooler. But the guy in the All Might shirt tries to intervene, and Uraka's about to let out another fucking heartfelt speech. Shut up! Someone kick this man out of throw him behind the barrier on the other side. Let the villains have him. This guy's a loser. And Uraka she just like breathes in. Let him And we cut this the backstory again. This is your, and it's her like acceptance thing to UA, and we get Deku crying. Let him stay here, she shouts, and she's definitely crying. Those aren't that's not raindrops by her eyes. She's crying. This is, oh my god. Ah. Okay, wait. This is, and we get Deku dropping to his knees, and then in the middle of that shot of him falling, Uraka rising with the mic in between. It looks like the first time they met each other when she like saved him from falling. Well, it's a bad omen if you trip and fall over. This is the story of how I became the greatest hero. At the Hero Academy, please, she finishes shouting. They fucking dropped the story of how I became the greatest hero line? What the fuck? Okay, wait, let me continue. We're at at the Hero Academy, please, as we get all the people looking around as Deku just collapses to the floor. And he is just bawling his eyes. Oh my god, don't tell me this is a callback to chapter 1. I'll have to go back and check. This looks very strikingly similar to a scene in chapter, I think 1, maybe 2. I think it's 1 though. This is, someone's thinking to himself. We get the fox lady plowing through the crowd as she's running. I think she wants to go give him a hug. I want to give him a hug too, get in line. And we get a shot of Nezu looking onward, and finally the stupid freaking guy in the All Might shirt. Shut up. Took long enough. One more step, Nezu thinks to himself. Humanity struggles to make progress down its rocky path. Hey, wait! It looks like we get, is that Mandalay or? Oh, Koda! Oh, Koda, that's right, Koda's there! Forgot! And he's walking, and he's wearing the shoes that look like Deku's. Which one should we get? Are we getting a flashback of him, like, picking out the fucking shoes? This fucking chapter. Which one should we get? She says, I can't remember the name of the Wild Little Pussycats. Apologies. One of them is asking the brown-haired one, the motherly one, essentially. That one. I really want that one. I want a red one. As we cut back to when Deku had the awesome standing moment, the My Hero moment, where he beats Muscular and saves him, and he's running out there, and he really, the wholesomeness. This scene. This is the story of how we all became the greatest heroes. One step at a time, the world begins to change. End of the chapter. Fucking wild. Fucking wild. What the fuck? Okay. Before anything, I'm actually going to go back. Excuse me. Sorry. I'm going to go back and check chapter 1 real quick. I think I could be wrong. I think that scene where Deku was falling to the floor, that looked like that kind of like camera view from below his face when like All Might's saying like you too can become a hero. Maybe that's just me hoping and like reaching, but I want to confirm. I do want to confirm. I'm so sorry. I know you guys want like me to talk about this chapter, but I'm so deadly curious about this. Chapter 1 is freaking long, by the way. I'm gonna have to scroll. Just keep scrolling. Oh my god, it's close. You can become a hero. I don't know. Oh, he's crunched over in both. I wouldn't be surprised if this actually was a callback. I think the official translation will help even more. But that framing is very similar. Chapter 1 callback. Dude, we are nearing the end of the series. You don't have a chapter 1 callback like that unless you're like near the end, which we knew that. Okay, back to chapter 324. Okay, where do I fucking begin? First of all, Uraka. Good shit. Good fucking shit. I don't care. Whoever out there doesn't like you as a character, they don't like the series. Whoever thinks you're overrated or like a bad character, they just don't appreciate what the series is about. Okay, so I'll be honest with everyone. I'm not the biggest Uraka fan. I don't have her in my top 10 characters per se, you know? With that being said, I still think she plays such an important role for Deku's development and just and in general just with the class and stuff. And I think she's a fantastic written character. You don't have to be like super out there in any one direction to be like an interesting character. The fact that she is so grounded and is sort of like just level-headed, you know, it is in itself a unique role. And man, where do I begin? This chapter feels like a culmination of just so much, especially with Uraka's character. Obviously, she's the main focus here with Deku. Oh my god. The fact that, okay, we finally got the moment. We just finally got the moment where it finally reached Deku. Like, the Ida stuff, just to think that, I thought the Ida moment would be the moment. How narrow-minded was I to think that? We got that, oh my god, just think about it. We just got the trio, the three best friends of Deku, the three amigos, all having their moments with Deku. We just got Ida, who had, I thought, is his moment still my favorite one? Oh, it's fucking hard. They're all so good. Oh, and then Bakugo's apology right after. That was satisfying as all hell. And this chapter with Uraka. I think this one, the fact it was at the end, is meant to be the most important one. And I'm going to claim that one as the most important one in my mind. The one we just got right now. But, like, it's hard to say that Bakugo's, like, to me, Bakugo's is the most important just personally, but as a series, I can see why they would have Uraka go last. It felt like, and this is the one that finally, I think, cracked through that shell that really reached Deku's heart. Because even though his body agreed to go to UA, you know, his heart hadn't fully agreed yet. And this chapter, his heart gave way, I think. I'm sure a lot of people will label this as like a shipping chapter between the two, and as someone who does expect these two to be together at the end of the series, yeah, you totally could. Yeah, I don't see why you wouldn't count this. But it's more than that. Like, it's not just a moment, just like the way Deku looks at her, it's amazing, honestly. And the way that Uraka is portrayed in this chapter is so fucking brilliant. Horakoshi, you're so good at this. Like, it doesn't just show her up there, like, flawlessly giving this speech, right? As she's saying the words, we're getting interlaced with it. The parts of her, the things that she's gone through that, A, made her the person she is, and B, is able to articulate everything she's feeling in her heart. Not just toward Deku, but just to the mob down there, to her friends. The things that they need to, like, pull together. They can't... Enough of this blind hatred. Like, that kid in the All Might shirt, I still stand by it. Toss his ass to the curb, man. As Uraraka's giving the speech, like, it's amazing when we're cutting to the shots of the other students. Like, we get Kirishima, who looks like he's almost on the verge of tears himself, because he's probably like, that's so fucking manly. Like, he's probably thinking that to himself. Like, just look at this panel of him. And you have Denki, Mina, and Froppy, who are just kind of like in awe of this moment, right? But the telling one, the shot of the like, there's a lot of great shots in this chapter, but a really underrated one, I think, just on the first viewing, is the shot of Deku, and it's the one right above Aizawa, which I'll talk about in a second. That's so good. Bakugo to his left, Ida to his right, the two people who just gave their big moments before him. I love the fact that he drew their expressions as just plain. Like they're viewing this spectacular moment that everyone is in awe at, and Kirishima's about to fucking cry over, and like it's shutting up the entire crowd. These two, the way they're looking at her is so perfect because it just shows all three of them are just in the same mindset. They all care so much about Deku, and this is just shit that they know he needs to hear. And that's why they're not like breaking down or crying or in awe about this moment. They're just like in total solitude with her. And it's so great that this detail is going to be overlooked, I think, by some people. But damn it, that's important. That's good stuff. Wow. And then again, even Todoroki has his jaw like down a little bit, along with the only one who's not actually is Endeavor. Interesting enough, he's like the only one that's not in awe of this moment. Fascinating, actually. Even Hawk's mouth open. Aizawa listening to this in his room. I presume he's recovering in the building. If he's able to hear this, he has the door open, so it's probably echoing through the hallways. This chapter is a fucking 11 out of 10. This is above and beyond chapter. This is a going beyond plus ultra chapter. As corny as fuck as that sounds, this was really good. I can't explain just how awesome it is that it interlaced all this definitely might make Uraka finally crack my top 10. And again, I don't mean that as it's just my own like personal taste in characters. That why she wasn't in the top 10, but I've always liked her as a character. I always truly have. But this chapter was so good. Again, I was saying this earlier, how she's not just giving this perfect speech. She's like literally like wiping like tears and probably like snot or whatever from her face as she's like giving this emotional speech. And like, I fucking loved when this kid tries to open his fucking mouth again. And he's like, but, and he did the panel right below that, dude. You just see her like go back and just like about to shred this man a new one with the megaphone. Oh, that's so good. Now, here's the interesting thing, and this is something that I don't know if I personally fully understand. The scene where Uraka's saying, "That's why I'm asking for your full cooperation, so that tomorrow we can all smile together." And in the middle, we get this shot of Toga, right? And it's fascinating what exactly from that moment with Toga is influencing your words right now. That might be something that I have to like wait for the officials to go back and digest. But it is interesting that we got a Toga thought appear in her head during this speech. There's, in this Toga panel, there's actually like a word bubble next to her, but there's no words in it. I wonder if they're actually taking like that specific panel as a reason. I'm gonna have to go back and check. I don't remember the chapter that the Uraka versus Toga little clash happened, so I'm not gonna check right now. I'll check later. But that's fascinating. God, this chapter is so good. Oh, and then the parallel. Oh, this shot was so good. This is the story of how I became the greatest hero. Not only is that a fucking callback to the first chapter, like it must be. No, before I wasn't sure if that was a callback. It has to be, because that's the same exact moment that we got this line in the first place. This is the story of how I became the greatest hero, and he's like on the knees crying in front of All Might. I don't know. The shot of Deku crying. Fuck me, this is a good chapter. This is so good. And I love at the end, we got even like a cherry on top at the end with freaking Koda and this giant fox lady going to just rush to him. I love this image. I don't know why I love this image so much. This Deku's like hunched down crying, but then you have Koda about to like jump on him and give him a hug or something. And then you have this like fox girl running in like, no, my hero. This giant fox girl. It's just like so fucking random. Like if you just took the shot of Koda like running to him, it's like, oh yeah, it makes total sense. And then you get this like girl we met like 15 chapters ago running in, like this big sweetheart fox girl. That's funny to me. But then this last thing. This is the story of how we all became the greatest heroes. That is big. That is big. I didn't actually think about that at the time of first reading it. For the first time, we're getting an addition / altercation to that narration, the famous narration that we heard at the beginning of the series, which is big. It's fascinating because before it's like this, and by the way, everyone was saying that like just because this is the story of how I became the greatest hero, that means he would be stronger than All Might. I still stand by. I don't think anyone will ever be as physically strong as All Might was, but Deku's going to be more diverse, so that's going to be his sort of thing. But this straight up says like this isn't even about Deku anymore. It might have been at one point, and it still kind of is. But long story short, it's now in the forefront. Like, this isn't just about one person. This is about one person amongst many equals. Like, you could think about this a lot of ways. Is he truly a destined one? Or is it a group of people who are destined for greatness, right? And the whole point of this chapter was Uraka is even saying, like, who helps the heroes when they're down? Like, one person can't do it alone. All Might got close, but even he couldn't do it. He thought he did. The world thought he did, but he didn't. Even in the end, All Might had to ask for help for Deku. And then even All For One had to ask help from Shigaraki to an extent. He didn't really ask. He kind of like forced it upon him, but different story. Fascinating. I've said about all I want to say. Let's see if there's anything I forgot. I don't think there is. Good shit, Horakoshi. In the future, I'm not even going to bring up negativity from Twitter and shit because it's irrelevant. The fact of the matter is, this series is great. If you don't like the series, don't read it. That's all I gotta say. If you think this shit's boring, if you think that the series is going downhill because of actual character development, I don't know what to tell you. Sorry. I would hate if I just couldn't enjoy good things. I don't know how you do it. This is some good stuff. You know, one thing I was thinking to myself, I'll just leave this as the last note. One thing I thought would be kind of cool. If anyone remembers back in like chapter 1, when Deku's looking up at the that huge villain, like the first, it's like the famous first panel, and you get that guy with like the antenna horn things coming out of his head saying like, oh, you want to become a hero too, don't you? I want to see that guy make a cameo. I don't know if he ever has. I'm sure he might have at one point, but like I've been kind of looking for him in this crowd of people. Just kind of like with my like side vision, and I haven't noticed him, but I always thought it'd be cool if that guy like made an appearance somewhere. But yeah, I don't really see him. Anyway, yeah, to summarize, fantastic chapter from Uraka. This is a 30-minute video, by the way. I apologize. I personally do see Deku and Uraka ending as a couple at the end of the series. Not that I don't want to make this a shipping debate or anything. I just think it's Deku and Uraka, man. Like they're, by all means, like ship whatever you want, but like clearly these two are meant for each other. They have a deep care and admiration for each other. They respect each other and they pick each other up. Call it what you want. That's just what I think. Great chapter. 11 out of 10. I don't know if I've ever given a chapter 11 out of 10. But I just did. So, if you guys like this video, consider subscribing. I do this every week. And leave your thoughts down below. Leave a like. Anything to help out the algorithm. I appreciate it. I truly do. As fun as it is to read these chapters, and it's a blast. It's even awesomer that I have an audience that I can share my opinions with. So thank you guys. Truly do mean that. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed, and until next time, this has been Mighty Gazelle, hoping you all have a mighty day. See you guys.